Could we see him maybe more in line with the Governor that we've seen in the comics? The long, shaggy hair. Obviously now he's got the eye patch. That kind of dastardly.
Well, the look, you'll have to wait to see the look. I mean, you know, the look is one thing, but I mean, from an emotional point of view, I think it's much more about what this man is carrying inside him, really. And I think it's about how he deals and comes to terms with the man he is and what he's capable of, and which side he's going to fall on. That's the choices he has to make. And what the writers have done for the Governor in this season is just wonderful. I mean, the script's just great in that sense of the complexities of the. Because all you want as an actor is you want to have complexity. You want to have internal emotional fights. You want to be making choices. You don't want, you don't want to be saying what you're feeling. For example, you want to be sort of deflecting that and stuff like that. And they've really written that. It's been a joy to play. So I'm really buzzed about it. I mean, it's great to sort of great to go to work. That's
in an alternate world, do you think the Governor could have been a hero?
Well, who is a hero? One man's freedom fighter is another man's terrorist. You know what I mean? So it's not the choice of who is a hero, what is heroic, is completely arbitrary and completely personal. And the victors write history. So you look at things in the past and you think that's a terrible thing. You weren't there. You didn't see. You don't know what the choices led to that thing. So it's very easy to put people into categories of good and evil and heroic. People do things for very complex reasons, and sometimes they're reasons that are only personal to them, which are heroic. They, to the populace, they might look like completely cowardly. You never know that. So it's very important not to judge people in that way. Certainly, that's the first lesson you do as an actor, is not to judge your character. And I think you say, could he have been heroic? There are things that he's done already which I think are truly heroic. They're not to everybody's choice and not nice sometimes, but if you look at him at the beginning of season 3, he built that town. That's a heroic achievement. To have a place in this world where your kids can run out the door and play in the street and have to go crazy, that is massively heroic. So, he already is a hero at certain times for him. But tough choices mean that tough people have to step up, and that's his journey.
And the choices get harder and harder and harder.
Yeah. And also, sometimes you look at your leaders and they have to make bad choices. They have to make on your behalf, and they have to carry that weight, and you can just vote them out or vote them in, but they are making that choice every day of the week. They're making those choices.
David, I was wondering if you could just talk to us. This is your second full season with the cast. What that's like as compared to being new last year, going against the season under your belt.
Yeah, I mean, last year was interesting for me because I was really, really nervous joining, because I came to the show as a fan. I loved the show and I knew Andrew and stuff. And I remember sitting in my hotel room before I got to set on my first day. More nervous than I've ever been in my life, really, because it meant so much to me. And the second I got on the set, I met everybody, and those nerves just went away. You're part of the team. And this season, it's like, because there are new characters, so it's like it's fallen to me sometimes to be that welcoming person, and that's it. Welcome to the family, and it sounds like Scott was saying that Pollyannish thing, but it is a big family, because we go through a lot. We're not in LA or anywhere, we're all away from home practically, so we have to bond with each other. We work stupid hours, we do crazy stuff. The story demands emotionally a lot of us. So we all recognise the fact that we're only as good as each other. And we look after each other. We've just got to look after them. That's not the actors, that's the whole crew. And the crew, I have to say, are second to none. They're the best crew I've ever worked with. And they work in stupid conditions and do crazy hours. And it's a pleasure to go to work, but they all look after each other. It's important and sometimes you'll see people they'll shout at someone and you go, okay, we're going to have to look after something's going, and then the next day, they'll say sorry and we carry on. And it is looking after each other and that trust that you have. And, the example for me is in last season having that fight on the show. you can only have a fight that brutal, and with Merle as well, with Michael, with people that you trust. You can only do it with people that you really trust, because that's what makes you step over the line and just go for it. So that's the show for me.
Is there anything that I know there's so many things you'd like to do with him, but is there something that comes to mind, like a bucket list for your character?
You know, I sit down and I wonder what the writers are going to come up with. And when I come up with, I think, I would never have thought about that in a million years. And it's their job, that's their job. And what they give me to do is just a pleasure to do. And then I've got to figure out how the hell I'm going to do it. But the raw materials that they give me is just unbelievable. And I think every actor would say the same thing. So, you know, all you want as an actor is go to it. For years, many, many times in my life, I've looked at a script and think, how the hell am I going to do this? For all the wrong reasons. You know, how am I going to make that sound like it's English? And you never have that on this show. You look at it and think, God, am I going to have enough energy to do this? How am I going to make this? How many hoops am I going to jump through in this scene? You know, they're all the problems you want. All the problems I have on this show are the problems of success. Because on the page, it's successful, and I just have to go, how do I?
We've heard that there's going to be obviously the new threat. Looking at that trailer for season 4, the likelihood that could come with Bob Stokey, who's we know from the comics is someone who is loyal to the governor. The chances that could follow the same trajectory here, and will that be something that we see arced through the first half and then a new threat?
There's always a chance.
You go with Kirkman.
Yeah, you never know.
It's a new threat. So something we haven't seen before. Something unusual. Can't stab in the face. Can't reason with it. It's a force that would be dangerous in this world, in the world of The Walking Dead. It's terrifying.
Is there any level of violence that you guys can't go over? Do you ever take it too far with the violence and have to rein it back in?
This week we almost did. Looked like we did. There was some discussion. There was an hour of us sitting at the edge of our seat. I was like texting back and forth with Craig Nicotero, being like, I wonder how this is going to go. I really want this. I mean, it was something that was finished.
Right.
And then we got an email and we all cheered. So apparently not.
So they just will let you get away with it.
I mean, rubber's going to meet the road at some point. All that stuff is in service to story. All that stuff is in service to character, and not just shock and not just gross out. And I think that's what helps us. You know, that David, or was it David? The governor getting stabbed in the eye with a piece of glass.
It's pretty hard.
I don't recall seeing something like that on TV. But that was a huge moment for Michonne. That was a huge moment for the governor. I think that's why we're able to do it. I think. We could bring the BS and put it in.